Hi guys, Ali Taylor down here at Heron's Reach, and today we're going to discuss whether you should be carrying not one but two drivers in your bag to help you hit longer, more accurate tee shots than ever before. Right then, so this isn't anything new. In 2006, Phil Mickleson carried two drivers at, I think it was the Memorial Tournament first, where he won, I think, by 13 shots, and then at the Masters. And the idea being that he had one set up to draw the ball and one set up to fade, meaning that he didn't really have to do much different in his swing. He just allowed the setup of the club to produce the shape of shot. Now, some of you guys out there might say, look, I don't mind about hitting draws and fades. I just want to get rid of my fade or my slice or my hook or my draw. So what this can also help you understand is if you set your driver up accordingly, it just might help you hit the ball a little bit straighter. But I was messing around the other day, just hitting some draws and fades, really playing around with the settings on the driver. And what I'm going to show you is kind of a few shots with each setup, as to what really made me consider maybe carrying two drivers in my bag. So the big key is you can only carry 14 clubs in your bag, and most golfers out there do carry 14, but if they're being honest, they don't really use 14 and don't see the benefit of it. They maybe only use 9 or 10 on a regular basis. So what I want you to really consider from this video is, would it be worth potentially carrying two drivers if you knew that by picking your fade driver, you could eliminate the left side of the course, and maybe from picking your draw driver, you could eliminate the right-hand side. What I'm really interested in though is, obviously, I'll show you the results, but you guys comment below and let me know, is it something that you've ever considered in the past? Off watching this video, is it something that you would consider, or is it just a little bit extravagant carrying two drivers in your bag? But let's get on with hitting some draws and some fades. I'm going to talk you through how the club is set up differently and what you'd need to adjust if you've got something similar to this to maybe help you shape the ball or eliminate a little bit of your poor shape. Right then guys, so for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use the TaylorMade Sim driver. Now the great thing with the Sim is, like with most of the drivers out there now, there's adjustability around the hosel, but there's also a sliding weight in the bottom. So initially I've got the 9-degree head, I've changed the sleeve, so looking on their website here, as I take 2 degrees of loft off, it opens the club face 4 degrees, and I've also moved the weight down into heel. So everything about this driver setup is now geared to get the ball to work from left to right. Now for me personally, I quite like that with TaylorMade drivers because my tendency is to hit the ball a little bit left, a little bit right to left. So I like the fact that everything set up in there maybe kind of discourages that a little bit for me. And certainly when I put it down behind the golf ball, it certainly sits that little bit open, and for me personally that inspires a bit of confidence. So this is where I love the idea of the two driver thing. This in theory now is set up really, really nicely to get the ball working from left to right. So I'm going to hit a few shots. I'm going to show you I'm going to aim straight so you can see the ball curve off. I'm going to show you how the club face is then delivered relative to the path I'm swinging on, and show you how much curve on TrackMan this driver then gives me. So fade setting, so 2 degrees left, so it's only 7 degrees. I'm not saying that this would be absolutely perfect setup, but we can see that one there, set off a little bit left, but curving back really, really nicely. So we see my club face there was only 1.1 degree open, 52 foot of curve. So you can see the benefit for me there. That club face is actually 4 degrees open at address. I've actually still closed that a little bit, but it still allowed me to take that left side of the course out of play. And like I said, for me personally, that's where I love this setting. I feel like unless I really put a bad swing in it or strike it badly, I can't get the ball going left. So again, let's go another couple of fades. There it is again. shaping out to the right. Obviously, when I'm on the golf course, I would aim more down the left side for that. But again, you can see such a small amount of club face being open to path. So let's aim a bit further left on this one and try and get this one back to the centre line. Let's try a curve. That was a little bit out the toe. So that'd still be very, very playable. So club face again, a little bit open, not as much curve on that one. But you can see straight away there, I can start feeling, because that club's set up to make it easier for me, that I can start fading the ball. And particularly for you guys out there who draw the ball, who maybe do have like a tailor-made driver, be great to really make sure that that setting is ideal for you. Hopefully you've been fitted and you don't need to tinker with it, but if you are somebody that's bought off the shelf or bought a second-hand driver, it's worth looking at how that change of hosel position really influences loft and club face position. Right then, so that's been set in fade and I love that. And if I'm being honest, I've worked really, really hard on trying to take shape off the ball with my driver. And I do feel nowadays I'm, barring a little toe strike, I do feel I don't miss too many left. But I'm now going to change this driver setting and we're going to go to the higher loft, so it goes up 2 degrees. But it also closes the club face. I'm also going to move the weight in the bottom of the club head from fade to draw. And as a result of that, as it moves the CG in the head slightly, if I hit the ball more towards the middle, the gear effect in the club head will act a little bit more like it's a slight toe strike and get the ball shaping a little bit more right to left. So doesn't this sound perfect? That if you were somebody who gets the ball working too much left to right, potentially just setting that driver up better could help. Now, I would suggest that closing the club face 4 degrees is great. If you're somebody who already delivers the club head much more open than that, the drivers aren't magic. They're not going to turn a big slice into a draw. They might turn a slice into a more controllable fade, but it's really making sure you got a little bit more control in your golf swing anyway. But now this setup, I can see loads more of the face, and it's definitely looking more that way. Now, historically, I haven't loved the look of this, but because I'm maybe hitting it a little bit straighter nowadays, I'm actually finding the draw a little bit tougher with driver. So there is that argument that if this really gives me what I'm after, why would I not consider 2 drivers in the bag? Okay, so let's go. This is now draw setting. Right, so we can see that one curving from right to left. Maybe a little bit more than I would like to see. But the club face only 2 degrees closed and 92 foot of curve from right to left. So we can see there's an 8-degree difference in how the club's set up. I'm not necessarily delivering the club exactly the same, but you can see how the adjustment of club face really, really influences the shape of shot. I would probably say from that first one that maybe I wouldn't, if I was setting it up for draw, maybe wouldn't go quite that exaggerated. So again, it's a good strike. It's curving from right to left. 3.2 degrees. Now, when I was hitting the fade, I said I'll aim left and try and get one back to centre line. Where the camera is at the moment, it's probably not going to allow me to aim far enough right, but I'll try and get a little bit closer to the camera with the start line. No, wasn't brave enough to set it off very close to the tripod, but we can see still curving from right to left, 3 degrees closed, 94 foot of shape. And you can see by changing the setup of that driver, can see, definitely for me, I think it's quite obvious that it's easier for me to get the ball going that way. So at maximum draw setting, that's not necessarily ideal for me, but straight away, it got me thinking about, should there be two drivers? Right then, so you could see by altering the setup on driver there, it really gave me that ability, quite a lot of shape from right to left granted, but it gave me that ability to not change my swing too much, but definitely easily shape the ball from right to left, or just get that little gentle fade going. Now, like I said at the start of the video, you can only carry 14 clubs, and it is a tough one maybe for a lot of guys to justify having two drivers in the bag. But if the driver's the club that hits it the furthest for you, and you felt that that ability to hit it either way would benefit your game, why would you not consider it? Like I said, hopefully you guys have commented down at the bottom and letting me know what you think. Is it something you already do? But definitely for me, I wouldn't need to be quite as exaggerated for the draw. I think I could probably be fairly neutral with that and still draw the ball. But certainly when I set the loft lower with the club 4 degrees open, I really like the look of that little fade. And it's definitely something I would consider. And it might be something I'll do, seeing as though there's only a little bit of the season left. I might play 9 holes with the two drivers, pick the appropriate driver for the appropriate hole, and just see if I do really get much of a benefit from that. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out when I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.